Welcome. Welcome to the Chambra Pavilion for our first Crimson Circle monthly meeting ever here on the Big Island, on Kona.
You know, when the music was playing, I was getting these
Goosebumps,
goosebumps
me too.
shivers. It's like, and then I was getting all choked up, and it's like, wow, here we are. It's been an amazing journey, but really for the last couple of years, ever since we acquired the villa and then we built the pavilion, it's been truly amazing. A lot of hard work, a lot of fun, a lot
Beauty.
of designing, a lot of beauty, a lot of Shambra energy and interaction.
We built it in heaven, and Adamus is pleased with it too.
Yes, and here we are. I mean, here we are. We got a great group of Shambra, about 30 or so here in the audience today. If we get a shot of them, they are, well, they're still waking up because it's fairly early in the morning here in Kona. It's 10 o'clock our time.
But-
Back in Colorado, there they are. All right. They
This is,
have to look at their.
wait. This is really micro print. So realizing how nice and sweet this audience is, I'm going to read off the countries, and you're never going to believe this. Only, 32 attendees from, 11 different countries.
Wow. Wow.
Austria, Australia, Canada, Switzerland, Germany, lots of Germans, Denmark, Finland, France, Japan, Netherlands, and the United States, of course.
Wow.
Is that amazing?
Wow, amazing. Wow. So we're going to start off the day with some music with Gerhard Funkhauser. You're not going to be coming in pretty soon, but you're soloing right now. Let's take a deep breath, and as the music plays, let's ground all the energies from these.
I'm too high, I can't.
Incredible project.
Not gonna happen.
And I can't wait for all of you to actually come here, be here in person. It's just, it's something else. So let's take a deep breath with the music, bring in those energies. So we're here at the Shambra Pavilion. Next Friday is actually going to be the official blessing ceremony with Kahu Kialoha. I know a lot of you that are here today are going to be here for that. That's the official one, but we're launching it with this shout. And I think this is only the second time we've ever done a shout outside of Colorado.
Right.
Yeah, we did one on the Lanai up here without an audience,
Didn't
and
we
it
do
was
one in Hamburg
pre-filmed.
once?
No,
Never?
no. Oh, did we? Oh, right. In Munich. Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
true.
sorry, I'm right.
Okay, thanks for correcting me. We could have let that one go. Nobody would have known the difference. Anyway, the short version of all this is we got the villa a couple of years ago as a place where we could kind of ground the energies of what we're doing, of realization. We did some workshops up on the pool level. I think almost every one of you was here for that. And we realized it wasn't quite right. It just, we had some umbrellas that open and it wasn't quite right. So we got to thinking last year, let's do a pavilion. And with a beautiful architectural design from Horace Deneau. Horace is in the back today. Horace, go ahead and stand up. Go ahead and stand up. Yeah. So. I mean, this place is stunning, as you can see, for those of you who are here. For those of you who are watching it online, actually what we did is a little walk around yesterday to show you a little bit more what it's like. We did a little flyby yesterday with the drone also, and you can maybe see online now what it looks like. Really beautiful, and it was only in the last couple days that we really finished things up. A week ago, this place was a total mess. There was no grass, there was no plants, and boom, magic happened, and it's all here. So Linda and I did a little walk around yesterday was that yesterday?
Day before.
Seemed day before with Peter.
I'm sorry, it's whatever you say.
We did a little walk around to give all of you who are watching in today a look at what it's like. And by the way, I also want to acknowledge and thank everybody who's in Colorado at the watch party. We also have a watchdog here. Keep out bad energies.
She actually protects this property, not the one that she's from.
So Bella's out there barking, keeping away, all the negative energies or whatever. But anyway, we did a little walk around. I'd love to show you now what the pavilion looks like. This was just with a little handheld camera, pretty informal. So let's take a look at that for those of you who are watching it online. And for those of you at the studio in Colorado at the watch party, very special thanks. Glad you're watching in today. Okay. So welcome, Shambra. We're here at Villa Amio in Kona, Hawaii. It's a beautiful day, the sun's shining as it usually does here. If you remember back in February, we did a little walk through in this same area. It looked totally different. Everything was ripped apart, and well, we wanted to give you another walkthrough right now to show you all the progress that's been made in these last 8 months.
Adamus made it so clear that when we started doing things here, that the energy here was so supportive and conducive for people to get away from life and really, really allow themselves to be here. And that is part of what I think inspired us to really go forward and really add these improvements and additions.
We're here in the orchard area right now. We just planted, I think, about 8 or 10 beautiful fruit trees. Right now they're pretty small, but by the time some of you are here, they might be way up there. Already some of them are bearing fruit.
Well, these two trees right here, Jeff, they're both tangerines, And we did a good job of talking to the horticulturist and made sure that we got trees that start producing fruit quite young, and that they didn't have to be so horribly tall, that you could just walk up to them and pick the fruit.
Well, I can't wait till we actually pick the fruit
I
from
know,
here
I'm excited.
and serve it at the different events, the very fruit that we're growing right here on the
But
property.
Jeff, Chambra like to just walk right up and take it
And
off.
they can pick their own
You
too.
know what they do. We know
So,
what you do.
This is the orchard area, and let's take a walk up to the next level. There are 7 levels on the property right now. I don't know if that's significant or means anything, but 7 different levels. The
7,
first
huh?
one being the orchard level.
Right. This is one of the citrus trees, and you can see it's just heavy with fruit already. It'll be ripe soon. Just like this one too, look you can see the fruit ripening. It's just such a rich place when it comes to life.
And it's warm too.
And
That's
it's
what I
warm.
really
It's
love.
very
It's
warm.
very warm here. This is the parking area. We planted all this grass, and it's growing in pretty good.
Well, considering it was just planted in September, it's incredible.
It's incredible.
Incredible.
So we use this for parking during the events, but when there's not an event here, it's just a beautiful grassy area. You come down here, throw the ball to Belle. She was somewhere around here just a moment ago.
She's probably hunting for an avocado.
Yeah, she does
likes
that.
to snack
she
on
loves the
avocados.
avocados. So we got plenty of space for parking, and then, of course, as we go over here, you'll see the beauty of the new pavilion. We'll
Oh,
go up
so
there
exciting.
in just a moment. So here we are coming up the stairs to the new pavilion. One of the things we wanted to point out is the beautiful landscaping that was done here. It's just amazing. If you remember from the last video, everything was just mud and dirt.
And wild, and
they
wild.
came in and planted flowers, beautiful. There's ginger, there's
Tea tree.
tea trees and palms, and
That's a
lychee tree
lychee.
over here, just about everything you can imagine. And that's the beauty of the islands. Everything just grows and flourishes.
So lush, so conducive to life. That's, everything about it is conducive to life.
And I'm waiting for Chambra to be here and just relax, like in this little grass area here, and just really absorb the nature and really relax into their enlightenment.
I'm really excited because we have quite a few people coming back that have been to the villa before, and I think they're going to be quite surprised at how big an improvement we've been able to make to really, again, be more supportive with the events, and just it's a heavenly place.
They'll be in for a big surprise. So let's take a look at the pavilion, since that's what it's all about. So this is it, the Chambra Pavilion. We called it the Chambra Pavilion because it's for you, it's about you, it's all about Chambra. Just no other name really worked on that. And you see the beautiful plaque here on the wall commemorating year 2019. It'll be interesting to be here 40, 50 years from now and still see this plaque there. So let's take a look inside. One of the beauties of this place is it's kind of open air in a way. When we're ready to do a workshop, we just hit the magic button and it opens up to all
Well,
the
they have
elements.
these incredible shades so even if the weather is not perfect, we can adjust the shades to accommodate our needs. So it was a really nice way to create something where we could have it as open as the weather allows.
And what I love is you can look through into the plants, into the greenery, into the beautiful tropics at any time, and just we're surrounded by that while doing the workshop. I don't think, Linda,
It's
when we
heaven.
think of all the ballrooms that we've
It's heaven.
done workshops in, there's nothing like this at all.
Ever.
So let's take a look inside now. Well, here we are in the Chambra Pavilion. What a beautiful place.
Can't you imagine how exciting it's going to be able to do events from here and productions as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's rigged with all the latest, greatest technical equipment. and the beauty of the wood. I mean, it's stunning. The wood in the ceiling, on the posts, on the walls behind us.
It's just rich with beauty.
Yeah, and I can just imagine as, we're sitting here we're doing the shoud right now that you're watching, doing the shoud filled with Chambra. I'm looking out here at the beauty of the ocean and the gardens, and I'm in heaven. I'm stunned, actually.
It's heavenly, truly heavenly. And that's not even a coincidence, because the coffee village, the coffee plantation behind us is called Heavenly Hills.
Yeah. So it's all set up for Chambra, all set up for you. We can't wait for you to come here. And I know Adamus is really going to enjoy it. I'm so looking forward to the shout that we're doing today, not the day we're filming this, but the day you're watching this. I can't wait to get Adamus's reaction.
I'm excited. We did that shout here, I think, last year, and people loved it so much, and I think this is going to be more of that kind of energy.
But we did it up on the lanai without an audience.
That's
now.
Correct.
We're going to have a great audience, I hope, and we're going to be doing it live from here. Just stunning. I think I'm going to sleep down here tonight. I love it so much. I mean, it's just
really beautiful. No denying it.
So this is it. Again, take a look at the woodwork, the attention to details. I mean, this isn't just a pavilion. This is really an amazing Chambra safe space.
Absolutely. So here is our beautiful Hortense garden area. As you can see, again, it's just lush with beautiful tropical, and most of this was just planted formally. So again, can you imagine how beautiful this is, knowing that most of these plants are barely a month old?
There's little benches here in case you want to come out during breaks or whenever and sit and relax and then just enjoy the peace and the nature.
The beauty.
And I want to point out this wood trunk over here. This actually comes from an ohia tree that was on the property. We had to take down because it unfortunately had a disease to it, but Horace Deneau actually made this beautiful, it's kind of a tabletop trunk for it, and just a stunning piece of work. So, Linda, let's enjoy the bench for a little bit, since benching's the thing that
we haven't been able to do that so far.
Chambra really does well.
This bench was just put down yesterday.
It was.
Literally.
And all this is so new. So we're looking forward to all of you coming and enjoying the workshops, enjoying the shouds, whatever we do here, but really enjoying all the surrounding areas, the gardens, the beauty of nature.
And the panoramic view of the ocean.
Yeah.
Nothing quite
Just
like
from
it.
everywhere here in the property, you can see the ocean. It's stunning. So we're coming up to one of the next levels. This is right above the pavilion level, and this is where, a lot of the fun takes place. It's the Crimson Circle Kona Cafe that we're walking up to right now. Of course, surrounded by the beauty. And I did want to point out all these stone walls that you see we had built. These are all brand new. They don't necessarily look new, but they're all new, and it's part of the overall design and landscape.
Well, it's the lava rock that is natural here. So it's always amazing to me that no matter how old or new a lava rock wall is, they always look beautiful.
I don't know how many meters of rock walls we had put in, but a lot, and they're absolutely beautiful. And like Linda said, they look like they've been here forever, but actually they're all new. They were all just put in. So let's go up to the cafe and have a cup of coffee. So welcome to the Crimson Circle Kona Cafe. This is where we're going to be serving coffee, juices, water, tea, food.
All the breaks and any meals will be served from this general service area, and we have plenty of countertops because we have to accommodate all those Chambra needs.
Absolutely, and those muffins that I love.
Yep.
So this used to be just kind of an open area, and we built it out with the countertops, the beautiful wood treatment again. And I do want to once again thank Horace for the beautiful design on this. It's just a wonderful area to relax, have a cup of coffee. We're right next to the pool and the hot tub. life doesn't get too much better at the Crimson Circle Kona Cafe. This really makes everything convenient. It's all built in for doing amazing workshops, shouds, recordings, whatever it is we're doing. So we thank you for taking this little tour with us today. We hope you can make it here sometime in the very near future. It's a long way for anybody to travel, even if you're from the U.S., but once you get here, the beauty of the island, the beauty of Villa Amio, and now the new Chambra Pavilion at Villa Amio makes it amazing.
And Jeff, what's the closest space to the Hawaiian Islands? It's pretty amazing, actually.
About 1,700 miles from anything.
So it's really, truly off the grid.
So anyway, check out the tickets. We hope you're here soon. You know, we're probably going to be here, particularly in those cold weather months, and we're really looking forward to having more and more Chambra from all around the world here. Once again, thank you for taking the tour with us today.
Everyone.
Let's get back to the shout now. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Adamus is waiting.
My love for this place has been reinforced with the fact that it has snowed 4 times in Colorado in October. Really.
By the way, you did pretty good in that video. No rehearsing, no anything. We just kind of walked through. You're a natural. You look good too. No, you're good. You're good. And I don't know when or where Peter found time to do all that
I'll pay you
editing, but we kind of put that together. It was a little cheesy, but it should be. I mean, kind of a little homey, I guess.
It was so fun to do it. And again, one of the things that happened, you know, we got the property and we loved it right away, but we thought, you know, we weren't sure where all this would go. And then when we started the events, it was stunning that people showed up and they acted like they liked it. And things weren't perfect and nobody complained, nobody. And so then it's like, oh my God. And then people were coming back again and it's like, okay, we're gonna make this really right. And so that really inspired us to really make it a special space because you all treat it like a special place. You all treat it like a special place.
If you'd like to add your energy to the pavilion, just adding your energy, sending a blessing. A lot of people have asked about making a financial contribution to it. That's perfectly fine and acceptable. If you're interested in that, you can go to the Crimson Circle store page. There's a banner on there. Or just add your energy. It's great. The place is bought and paid for, but a lot of Chambra around the world decided they just want to be part of it, add our energy. So we have that option.
We're so humbled by the beauty of all of you.
Okay,
Truly.
Let's take a look at what we did last month back at the studio in Colorado. It was the Passion.
When was that?
It doesn't seem like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Passion 2020 series. We've got a short recap so we can take a look, see what we did last month.
Okay.
Ready?
Because nobody ever remembers.
No, I don't. I don't remember. like, huh?
You just integrate it. You don't have to remember.
What? I love when you get dressed up. No, I really do. It makes a big difference in the energy. I hope some of you at home got dressed up, even though you might be alone. You start to realize it is all an act. And the human act is probably the greatest of all the acts that you've ever had, but it's all an act. It really is. When you get dressed up, it gets you out of the rut. It opens you up a little bit. We've been talking very clearly, very specifically, I would say for at least the last 3 years, very clearly about what you're really here for. And the funny thing is, it's really not for enlightenment. That's going to happen. I mean, that's a given because you chose it in this lifetime. You waited, as I've told you many times, you waited, but now you're here. But it's actually really not about the enlightenment. It's about staying on the planet. You came to this planet knowing that realization was going to happen, and you played a wonderful game, and I'm going to make it really hard to get there, so I'll never forget that I got there. But you came to the planet just to be a light on the planet at this time of machines. And we got a lot of work ahead of us. Fun work, exciting work, Going to be sad work at times, really sad at times. Coexistence between suffering and pain, and then over here, freedom and what we call magic. It's going to be very difficult to coexist together. Feel into it for a moment. Here you have a tremendous number of people on the planet that are still buying into pain and suffering, limitation and lack. And then you have people who truly understand freedom. Freedom of energy, freedom of their perceived past, freedom to be who they are. It's a difficult coexistence. And basically, that's kind of why, first of all, you chose to stay, simply to illuminate potentials. You're here to bring the Merlin to the planet, the light that simply illuminates potentials to humanity. That's it. Not to tell them where the potentials are, or not to tell them which one to choose, but just to illuminate potentials. That's it. I say this because it's going to be one of the most difficult things that you're going to encounter, that it's very difficult for these two things to coexist, suffering and freedom. Feel into that for a moment. How could you really be free if you're still suffering in your life? The master's office is a park bench and a cafe. That's it. That's your job. You go to the park bench, you go to the cafe or whatever. That's your office. You sit there, do whatever you want to do. Read, write a book, write a play, read the newspaper, maybe not. That's where you do your work. You sit on your ass, and do your work. And you don't force it. You're naturally luminous. And you just sit there, and that casts a light onto potentials. And you don't even have to know what the potential is for somebody. Actually, you probably don't want to know. But it just casts a light that shows them that there are alternatives. They do have choices. I'd like dear Linda of Esau dressed up as a gray. Dear Linda of Gray Esau, with the microphone, please, for today's wisdom question for the masters. Do humans in general, do humans do more to harm themselves or harm others?
Harm themselves.
I think we harm ourselves.
Themselves.
We harm ourselves 100%.
Themselves.
Themselves.
I would say close to 100% of the energies humans of suffering and pain are used on oneself, and then at times acted out externally to harm others, just because they simply have to. It has to be externalized. But there's a tremendous amount of self-harm on the planet. That's why I go back to the statement that it's going to be very, very difficult for really freedom and suffering to coexist. And I'm saying that kind of as a precautionary note in what you're going to be doing here on the planet as the ones who bring a light. You're not here for your enlightenment, or you're not here to work on your enlightenment. You're here for potentials for the planet. May or may not work. They may embrace it, they may not. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're here to show them that there could be a lot more. Most humans do not have the maturity or the wisdom to handle energy. They will harm themselves with it, then possibly others. First of all, you're wise enough to realize that any experience in your life, particularly of suffering or pain or sadness or anything like that, wasn't inflicted from the outside. It wasn't. You played it out on the outside, but it all came from within. Until now, until you were at this level of wisdom and maturity, you really couldn't have really taken on energy in your life in a new and different way. We've been kind of building up to it, leading up to it, but now you're at the point, you have the wisdom, you have the maturity to actually let energy serve you. I'd like to use today at this Halloween shout as kind of that crossing point. We talked a lot about letting energy serve you and what energy is and everything else. Now let's just do it. You do have the wisdom to allow energy to serve you. Take a deep breath with that and embody it now. Next, in our last session, I came up with this little thing called practical magic for the modern Merlin. Real basic, simple things, real easy things. Today's practical magic for modern Merlins is 100% of the energy that you encounter is yours. There is no outside energy whatsoever. It's all your perception. It's basically the same thing. Energy is just a way of perceiving. Energy is a song, it's a communication, it's a way to perceive and experience. Imagine how relieved energy will be when you finally say, damn, this is all mine. It's my way of perceiving and experiencing reality. It's all mine. That's when the magic begins. That's when you realize there's no outside forces. There's nobody trying to take your energy. There's really not. There's no bigger energies. There's no boogeymen energies. There's none of that. It's all your own. When you start realizing that, the magic really starts happening. Well, I didn't remember most of that, so I'm glad we do the recap. Anyway, we're going to...
I'm glad that there was reference made to that everyone's dressed up for Halloween. It wasn't your typical
Right, because that would have been kind of weird otherwise.
spooky.
Yeah, let's take a look real quick at some of the upcoming events that we have planned. Actually, we're going to quite a ways into next year already.
Well, and, I'm excited because the events sell out so quickly. It's just charming as can
Yeah, in November, we've got the Energy Works Workshop here starting next week. That is sold out, but looking forward to doing that. And shortly after that is the Threshold, the Threshold, I hit that button a little too fast, in Japanese, and I don't know if that was sold out or not.
There are a couple spaces left.
Couple spaces
Yeah,
left.
just a couple.
Okay, in December online, we've got the Sexual Energy School. This is really one of the core Crimson Circle schools, and we do it online twice a year. And I think it's going to be also live with Spanish translations for this one.
Yes, it is.
December 6th through 8th.
Billy's going to do live
Yeah.
translation.
And Linda and I host it from the studio, so it's, we're there the entire weekend with everybody else.
Yes, we are.
Good. After that is...
There's the Spanish
There's
one,
the Spanish
yeah,
one. Oh,
yeah.
geez, I can't even think about this. Snow, Christmas.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, let's go there.
After that, can't even put my head around that one right now. On December 14th is the Crimson Circle Christmas celebration. We have a really nice, fun dinner afterwards. It's right after the shout. But did you give me the shivers thinking about all that?
No
cold.
kidding.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Then we're in January 2020. I have to say that when I was quite a bit younger, which was quite a long time ago, just thinking about 2020, I couldn't even imagine it. The year being alive in the year 2020.
Why would you, when you're a young person, try to imagine like that?
I don't know, but I mean, it
Well,
just
you want to
wasn't-
imagine what it's like to be old?
It wasn't in my. I just couldn't imagine 2020, but here we are.
No, I agree with you. I'm
in
teasing.
just a couple of months.
No, I agree with you.
We've got a couple of really fun things going on. First of all, the ProNOS 2020
Oh,
update.
boy. Is this going to be a charming one?
It's actually going to be about, he's going to talk about the psychological implications of the technology age that we're in, where the psychology goes to.
Is it just...
Doesn't that sound like fun?
No, it does not.
Maybe we could just do a meditation or something instead, But no, he really wants to talk about all the effects that technology, the time of machines, has on people right now.
Will there be a
So,
remedy for us to use?
drugs.
Oh,
No, just being together. And anyway, there's also going to be a live Spanish translation. It's January 18th. You can come to the studio, be there in person, or watch online.
It's always kind of funny because there's always a few people that are like, they're expecting it to be a rainbow pronost, and it just doesn't happen.
Does not happen. Pronost is one of those things. It's kind of tough, but ultimately it's really good to know what's going to happen.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. After that, after all that fun with Pronost, we're going to do aspectology live online. Again, one of the core Crimson Circle classes. We do it online once a year, hosted live from the studio in Colorado.
Correct.
Just think January
In
Colorado.
January.
Yeah, you're getting spoiled there. Then, because it's going to be January in Colorado, we're coming back here to Kona for the rest of the winter. We're starting out with the Energy Works workshop, sold out. Amyo retreat with Koreans. That'll be interesting and fun.
Sold out.
Yeah, it's sold out. But they wear the headsets and we
6
do the
months ago it sold
translation.
out.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
But and it's fun doing the translated versions. After that is another Threshold sold out. Everything's sold
Jeff,
out. Why
is
do
the
we even-
reason you like the translated ones because you don't actually understand what's being said, and so
Yeah, they could say anything. I don't know. I do not know. Okay, Masters Code sold out. I think we have one here. Oh, we have 5 spaces available for Energy
Right.
Works with Spanish translation.
in April.
Linda and I will be speaking English, so if you don't understand Spanish,
I know
it
swear
still
words.
will work. We have 5 spaces available for that. Then after that, summer workshops. You know, we just did the channeling workshop in Austria a month or so ago, and we just loved doing it. There was such a long wait list. People wanted to
Unbelievable.
take it. So we said, we're going to come here in July anyway. Might as well do a channeling workshop in July. So we just announced it. There's still quite a few spaces because we just announced it.
It's just opening now.
Yeah, but we are going to do it here in the pavilion, which would be kind of fun.
The Angels had to have a chance at it first.
Yeah, definitely. So plenty of space left on that. Then going into autumn 2020, that seems like a long way away.
Kind of.
Yeah, we're going to be doing the channeling workshop again in Rust, Austria, back at one of our favorite
Sea Hotel.
places. Yeah, there's a lot of spaces available because we just opened it up. And then the Energy Works in Saint-Marie de la Mar, south of France. It didn't even get past the Angels, and it sold out in days, I think, 2 or 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But if you're interested in
Sorry.
being on the wait list, contact CESA, and she'll get you on that list.
And it's a long one.
And then, of course, our big Chamber gathering, which we love going back to Bled, Slovenia. It's one of our favorite places. It's so mystery school-like. I mean, it's truly amazing.
And we're going in September, so that the weather is likely to be very nice.
Yeah, we have about 500 Chamber coming in from all around the world at this lovely place. It's going to be called the Passion of the Merlin. I think we still have it's about 70% sold out right now.
At least.
We don't have the exact schedule for it yet, but kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what difference does
It
it
doesn't
make?
matter. Yeah. It's, if you've been there before to the Bled celebration, it's so much fun. It's a little village, beautiful lake, great restaurants, all around.
You can take a train right there.
Yeah.
And fly into Ljubljana.
Yeah. So I think that's just about it for all of our events coming up.
That's it.
We may be adding a few things here and there, but
I mean, here.
yes, adding it to here. So let's go into the Shambra news. Just as a reminder, the Shambra magazine it comes out right before the Shout every month. Packed with information, all the schedules, workshops, products, and really great articles. Really have to thank all the contributors all around the world who send their articles in. It's always a good read. And thanks to Gene Tinder for doing all the editing, and Mark Ritter, who's at the control desk today, for doing the art direction on it. Okay, what else do we have? We got a dog over there that's making a lot of noise. Masters Life 10. Way Out. It came out about, I think, right before the last show, but just a reminder, it's really, the comments about it are amazing. It's one of those really core, deep things. So that is available as a cloud class.
Well, and there's a play on words with way out, as you can imagine.
Yeah, and by Adamus's request, we extended the typical viewing time from 90 days to 365 days. You got a full year because there's so much in there. You just want to keep going back and back and back. And a lot of translations now becoming available. I don't exactly remember what languages, but a lot of it's being translated and now available. Okay. So with that, just a quick update on Rude Awakening. You know, the Rude Awakening team is here. They're going to be doing some filming. They're here today in the audience. Big hand. Woo, woo, woo. So I just want to put in a few of my own words about the project. I've been in, and Linda's been in kind of the creative business all of our life, advertising, or Linda was in fashion merchandising. And we've been around that business a lot, TV and production and commercials and things. And so we kind of have a feel for what makes a good production, what makes really good quality. And it's been so fun to watch the Rude Awakening team because everything they do with their project is quality. It's kind of like the Pavilion. You know, it's rich, it's deep, it's got amazing, and there's a shot. Wave to everybody out there watching. And it's really brilliant. And been watching, and a lot of these big projects, film projects, they go much longer than what you anticipate, even a building project like this. The Rude Awakening team has been keeping it together on time, probably on budget. Haven't talked too much about that, but been doing an amazing job. And your target date is June 20th, 2020, in Holland. We're going to be there for the premiere celebration, and I hope a lot of other Chambres. I'll ask you guys in just a moment how many people can attend the thing, but it's really coming along nicely. And the thing I love about Rude Awakening is that it's your story. It's our story. It's the story of coming through awakening, going into mastery, the challenges and the difficulties. There's such a misconception in the whole spiritual arena about what awakening is, what mastery is. And with Rude Awakening, you guys nail it, because it is rude. I mean, and it's tough, and it's exhilarating, and once you get through it, it's like, damn, that was fun, let's do it again. Not, or do it a little different. But to me, what you're doing on that film is you're documenting a process nobody's ever documented before. Nobody's ever approached that subject. You know, people talk about maybe awakening, but it's all fuzzy and airy-fairy. Yeah, but you guys are getting down to the nuts and
Practical.
bolts, the gritty. And I think it's the timing on it is impeccable. It's going to inspire so many people, and it's going to let so many people know, hey, I'm not crazy. I'm just going through awakening. What you're doing on it is beyond words, incredible. And you're doing it with such class and such quality. We've got a new teaser that you just came out with. I think this is our first world premiere of the new teaser. So let's play that, and then we'll come back and chat for a little bit. But I got to say, from Linda's and my standpoint, and Crimson Circle, which is a sponsor of this, it is so beautiful. So let's have the lights down, and whenever you guys are ready, let's play that new teaser for Rude Awakening. Wow. 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 I mean, guys, that doesn't give you goosebumps and take your breath away. I mean, it's incredible. Jonathan, come on up.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. And I'm going to stand up this side. Well, two tall guys with Linda in between.
Nice.
Anyway, so tell us a little bit about how the production is going, why you're here in Hawaii right now.
It's going very well,
Yeah.
actually.
I don't know if his mic is on. On? Okay, great.
It's
Yeah.
going very well. We've went through a lot of different iterations of the project.
Yeah.
It went from super complex to actually it's becoming simpler now.
I'm surprised you're still standing.
We are too.
I'm surprised
yeah.
they're still
Yeah.
smiling. Or is that kind of pasted on?
It's sort of like what happened.
Yeah.
No, it's been incredible, and we have to go through it ourselves.
Yeah.
Same as you with the channeling. You channel it, but then you have to basically
Yeah.
go through the material yourself, and it's been the same for us. Basically, you have to.
I've seen how
Live it,
it's
otherwise-
evolved over the last year or so, and you just keep making it better and better and better.
It keeps the quality goes up, but
Yeah.
but the context becomes simpler.
Yeah.
Much like down to these three questions: what is
Right.
awakening? What's beyond awakening? And what are we awakening from? And
Yeah.
that's kind of it.
So what you're doing is the way you're doing it is kind of unique. It's like you're playing the kind of the lead character. You're going through your own journey through
Right.
awakening into mastery.
It's sort of the host. I play the host,
Right.
going through it as well.
Right.
Because if people can't believe me as being vulnerable or as go stumbling through it myself, then
Right.
how would they follow us into a story like that?
Right,
So
right.
It's almost like go first. Take a little bit of a piss out of yourself.
Yeah.
We use film as a metaphor, so we do Back to the Future and all these famous
Right.
scenes which are still being shot.
I
So
like
it's
how
a
you kind
fun
of make
little.
fun of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you interject a lot of interviews with Shambro. You've traveled around the world with
Yeah.
your team.
And we're
filming.
shooting here in a couple of days as well. We're
Yeah.
shooting 2 interviews with you.
Wow.
With Eero and with other Shambra key hackers.
Yeah.
So it would be a good opportunity to get street interviews with you all guys.
Literally,
because
you're going to
you guys
go
are really
into Kona
into it.
town.
Yeah, exactly.
and do street interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people would be walking by. What the hell? Is that a movie star there?
People getting
It's like-
nosebleeds and lights going out.
Yeah. And so you're shooting for the premiere on June 20th. You will do the premiere on June 20th.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a premiere for ourselves because we wanted to get a really strict deadline because these things can drag out forever. And,
Right.
you're never done.
Right.
So you have to impose, like,
Right.
me and George are from the old school film system. So if you don't impose a deadline, you're going to go, add a little bit here, and
Yeah.
you just have to finish it.
And you're doing the premiere in Amsterdam at a rather famous theater.
It is a very old Art Deco theater from the 20s. It's one
Right.
of the most beautiful theaters in the world, I think.
Yeah.
So we booked it before we even knew if we are going to finish it. We just booked
Whoa.
it,
Yeah.
and then we go, okay, now we have to.
You have to, right. And how many Shambra will the theater fit?
It fits about 600 something.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so there's
Wow,
plenty.
wow.
There is plenty of space, but
Right.
it feels like everybody wants to come. So
Right.
we have to sort of still think about how we're going to do this. but
Yeah.
we will let all of you know soon what
Good.
the
Good.
possibilities
Well, Linda and
are.
I are going to be there for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And yeah, it will be.
We already
So-
booked our tickets, so you better be ready.
Oh yeah. Sorry, there's no seats. We're so sorry.
We'll sit outside. So about marketing, I know a little bit about the film business. Marketing is tough. I mean, getting a big distributor to carry the film, and who's going to want to, MGM or whoever.
And what's been really, really funny, and we couldn't have anticipated this, is that we started with Shambra,
Right.
film for Shambra, sponsored by Shambra,
Right.
financially supported. And we thought, well, pretty soon we have to go outside to traditional hedge funds and film funds, and it's still within Shambra. We have a lot of people of you donated,
Right.
and there's a couple of financial supporters that have donated big chunks of money,
Right.
and they're all key hackers.
Oh,
and
wow,
that just
wow,
blew
wow,
our
wow.
minds.
So
we
you're saying
couldn't have
all of your funding has come from Shambra.
exclusively.
Wow.
And we've been approached, as answer to your question, we approached by traditional distribution channels.
Yeah.
And the energy didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of money on the table, but
Yeah.
we felt like this is so sacred and so important that we do it our way.
Right.
And so we had to say no. So we're
That's
basically
how-
circumventing
wow.
distribution because they take 80% of your revenues.
Yeah, but they also like to change the content.
Yeah.
to fit their needs, not your
Absolutely.
needs.
So we're going to do basically shift from distribution to self-marketing.
Wow.
And try to find our audience that way. And then it's
Yeah.
available on iTunes so people can get to it.
Right.
But we're going to spend a lot of time self-marketing it.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that we can control the
So
product.
can I ask, how much have you raised to date through Shambra?
Are you guys ready? 840,000 euros.
840,000 euros.
Wow.
That's
Yes.
like $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All from Shambra.
All from Shambra. Applause for yourself. Really, that's just been incredible. Talk about a new energy project, right?
Yeah, it's stunning. I mean,
is
because it's
amazing.
beautiful because it is the Shambra story.
Totally
it
is, yeah.
Totally is.
Amazing.
And what's really nice is that we're bringing the Shambra story, but because it becomes so simple,
Right.
and we're kind of taken aback by that as well, it is now not only for Shambra or the family of Shambra, it's basically for all the millions that
Right.
are awakening or at any step along the way.
New people.
But you know,
people.
Adamus gave us a heads up about a year or so ago, and he said, within Crimson Circle, everything will kind of stay pretty much the same the next few years, but get ready, get all your systems ready because
new
then
batch.
something happens. And he hasn't said what exactly, but I'm starting to put the pieces together and saying, I think
they're coming.
word is going to get out. Yeah, yeah.
And I think this film, and I think there's another filmmaker there. There's a lot of
Yeah.
different people now making films about this. That's going to be the first entry point.
Yeah.
And they're going to end up in Crimson Circle or other places. You know, this
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
But the typical film is, and they're good, but it's the going around and interviewing, whether it's channelers or biophysicists or whatever. But your approach is really quite a bit different. You're interviewing the people who are going through it.
yeah.
Journey.
You know.
And
Through the
basically, so
journey.
you can see, oh, I'm not crazy. I see these people go through it. They look
Yeah.
reasonably unscathed.
Right,
They have a
right,
little
right,
bit of
right,
a
right.
helter-skelter look in their eyes, but they're still standing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And if you see people like that, you go, okay, it can be done.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
and if you can laugh about it, or you say, oh, that's a film reference.
Humor is the only way to get through
The
it.
only way. I agree. Yeah,
So
seriously.
how much more how much do you need to raise to get it done by
So-
June 20th? By June 20th.
Yeah. So we're still looking for 750,000.
Okay.
And that's mostly because we're 75% done with the
Yeah.
film. It's already shot.
Right.
So most of that money is finishing the film. Post-production is very expensive, especially
Right.
on this level.
Right.
But of course, we shifted distribution, which normally other people pay for,
Right.
to self-marketing. So we want to allocate a big chunk of that to be able to spend,
Get the word out.
after June.
Right.
If we have to spend a half year extra before it comes out to properly market it,
Right.
then we can.
Right.
And we're not beholden to any other outside energy. So that's
Right.
sort of our.
Wow. That's key.
Amazing.
That's really key.
And I have to say, energy-wise, because we talk about new energy projects, we had to really go through the ringer ourselves.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done it without my team, so I want to
Yeah.
give a shout
Oh,
out.
you got a great team.
You
You got
do.
a great team.
George Andrade, writer-director, co-writer-director, Sandra Ruggerman, producer, and the newest member of the team, Mary Beth Shewan, operations. And I truly don't think I would be able to hold the energy by myself
Yeah.
if it wasn't spread out over multiple people. I
Gotcha.
truly mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
would not be
I
possible.
know what that's like with the great Crimson Circle team and my darling wife Linda, who puts up with a lot of stuff. No, so normally I would probably tell you you're a little crazy, thinking you're gonna
that's
you
how it
had to
gets done.
raise another 750,000. I've been involved in taking public company public. Raising money is really, really tough. And particularly when you're not going to outside investors. So, but I've seen you guys do it. I mean,
We grew into it.
I'm blown away by what you've done. So I'm going to say, I know it's going to work.
We know it's going to work.
Yeah.
And that's the first time, I think, since a couple of months that we can safely say it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And how? Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Might go viral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the work you're doing is tremendous.
It's very entertaining. So much of the work that's been done around this kind of process is so boring. I mean, I honestly mean that. It's boring. This has got an energy
lively.
to it and lively,
lively.
that people will be attracted to it, and they won't even necessarily notice what it is at first, and then they'll get it.
Absolutely. And we screened the new trailer with some young kids, millennials. We interviewed in Australia. We interviewed a couple of kids. And they respond so well to this type of filmmaking. They go
wow.
like, yeah, I don't understand sort of all the lingo,
Right.
but I feel this is for me.
Yeah.
And that's the first
There's
time.
not some long, dreary
No.
thing. It's like
Boring,
it's right to the
yeah.
point. Yeah. Well, great. It's so
Thank you so
delightful
much
to
for the
have,
space again.
to have you all here, and
Thank you.
it's been fun watching. Would you mind before we're just about to go on break? Can we play the teaser one more time and then go
Absolutely
to break?
not. No.
All right, we're going to play the teaser, then we're going to take a break. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes at the new Shambra Pavilion here in Kona, Hawaii. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Wow.
I can.
See you in 30
Yes,
minutes.
yes.
Let's play it again.
Thank you.